What's happening? What's going on? What's up, everyone? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. If you are new to the channel, be so kind to hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell to let you know when I'm going to drop a video or a podcast, one or the other. Or maybe when I try to get bold and then throw a fight night on YouTube instead of on just on Twitch. But regardless of that, um, man. Uh okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna have to swallow the pill on this one. People know if you follow my channel, if you follow me, you know how much I am a 343 supporter. You can call me a 343 stan, or I cap for 343 Industries. And I'm still a supporter of 343 Industries. There's no doubt about it. But there's been some problems. There's been some initial problems. Now, with the whole Halo 4 and Halo 5 outrage craziness, that was just stand propaganda garbage. If you didn't like the story in Halo 4 or Halo 5, or if you didn't like the multiplayer in 4, didn't like the story in 5, regardless of that fact, that's just per se. Because in all actuality, Halo 5 did very, 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 very well. Halo 4 did very, 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 very well. Despite the multiplayer not being the best for Halo, for Halo in 4, and the story not being up to some people's expectations with 5. Regardless, people were expecting, me myself included, was expecting to get a little bit of both. Adam get the multiplayer and the story aspect right, so everybody could go ahead and just say, "Look, man, 343 did it. They knocked it out the park." Now, some people will say that this story is one of the best stories that 343 has made. I enjoy it. I think it's a good story. Where I rank it somewhere in the middle. I really do like Halo 5 story. So I mean, and part of the reason because of Team Osiris. I love Team Osiris. Don't care if people like me saying that or not. Don't care. Um, my whole point behind it is I like the inclusion aspect of it. I thought that the whole way that they blended everything together, you can also play as Chief Blue Team for the very first time. I thought that was really, really dope in Halo 5. Halo 4 story was one of the best. It was my second favorite Halo story next to Halo 2. Halo 3, well, I should say ODST is my least favorite story. Halo 3 is probably down there at the bottom. Halo 2 is my favorite overall. If you want to kind of blend all the rest of them together with Halo Wars 1 and 2, Halo Wars 2 then would be up there at the top, probably in the top 2 or 3. And then Halo Wars 1 would be somewhere in the middle. But Infinite is somewhere up in the higher echelon of from when I think of the stories. I love the whole boss fight aspect of it. Thought that aspect was just amazing, and never want to go backwards. I never want them to go, but not to do that ever again, because it was absolutely just fun. Of course, with the grappling hook, things like that. But if you followed any of my videos, you definitely would hear me saying that these situations here is more about me. Okay, so if you've heard, let's just kind of rewind, go back. For people who hasn't heard me say anything about with Halo in the videos talking about Halo Infinite, I basically was saying, look, you have to in order to try to appease everybody, you're going to have to keep it moderate enough to make sure that you can pull in a younger audience, and then still have it nostalgia enough to make people feel that Halo has not completely abandoned what some people feel like Halo is all about, right? And so I think they did the perfect thing. I think they gave a little bit of both. Now there's still abilities that I wish that they will add later on down the line. Of course, assassinations and things like that, but they already said that they will be working on those later. But with all that being said, the game when it first launched was absolutely insane. Like, I mean, when we played the demos, I couldn't get enough. Jones, it ran smooth, it ran right. And everybody I know was just fiending over playing this video, playing this demo, uh, just to get more. Like, I mean, we seen, the variety of the maps that they did bring out, and just how much of a great sandbox that was. We thought that that was amazing, right? Like, it was just dope. So I looked at that, and and some people was like, no, they're going to try to over cater to the older nostalgic group, and I'm like, no, because there were a lot of fans of Halo 5's multiplayer, and then we really started to see a lot of people that was over here capping, talking about how bad Halo 5 was, actually start playing Halo 5 and really started liking it after they were kind of in between. And some people didn't really say, didn't say anything about didn't go as hard as they did about the story. They said the story still fell flat for them in certain places, but it wasn't as bad as they remember, which, quote unquote, they didn't play. They just got on the damn train. But I thought overall that Halo Infinite was in a very good place. And I even said it, like, look, it's going to rake. It's going to do this. Free to play aspect is definitely different. But I mean, everything comes to content. Everything comes into the point of, if you want to try to get into these services type of games, you got to have that content just coming constant, constant. Just kind of like overwhelm the gamer to the point to where they're like, okay, all right, they can get patient, or they'll go balls to the wall, or that's when you hit them over the head, and then that's when people will pay, to pay, what I'm saying, to pay to get that season pass up and make it easier for them. But then I also like the strategy, what they said about going and doing like the seasons will never go away. I thought that that was really good. What up? What up with you, Dragon? What up with you, Poe? You saying Halo Infinite is good, but it's not complete compared to the first. Yeah, well, no, that's the whole point I'm trying to get to. I take my time to try to do this, because I always try to put myself on a deadline. There's no deadline on this one. I'll get done when I get done what I got to say, because it's even deeper than what you read on this headline. So, but I'm just going back to what my point was, just saying, like, look, man, I just was like, man, I posted on Twitter, I said it everywhere, like, this game is going to rake. It's going to kill it. And sure enough, like, Call of Duty was down. Battlefield was down. This is the perfect spot. And Halo did take over the number one spot. Like, even EA even blamed Halo, because Halo was getting all the press, all the props. Everybody was in love with it. And just like that, in a matter of 2 months, all that love went away. Now, there's a lot of people that ask this question that's always been people that's not been a fan of 343. Well, it's the management, it's it's Bonnie Ross, it's Kiki Wolfkill, it's Frank O'Connor, hold on, it's mostly they go after Bonnie Ross or Kiki Wolfkill. But you don't hear too much about the name of Frank O'Connor. People don't really talk about him too much. But I'm going to get to him a little bit later, because there's some more stuff that popped up. Now, it's still all allegedly, but I mean, this female that brought out this information, which I'll show it. I'm not going to read all of that stuff, because it was tons of stuff that she was going out and basically don't know if she had an agenda or whatever. But I'll get to that here in a minute. But I want to just get back to this point, and it is clear that they have a lot on their plate. The Halo TV show, which was successful. I know there's some of the Halo stands out there that's traditional to the books. Everything has to be word for word, letter for letter, piece for piece. The show was still a knockout success. Already got green light for season 3. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I do enjoy the fact that it was so much different than me playing the games, because me personally, I don't want to play the same, just like with The Witcher. The Witcher is a breath of fresh air as well, because it's a part of the games that I haven't played. And that's what I liked about this. Now, of course, with the character design of certain things, and some people might complain about, well, it didn't, the budget didn't seem well enough. There was some absolutely cool ass scenes in the game. I mean, in the show that really got people to say, "Oh man, okay, I'm invested." Then they might have had a low point in the other show, and then they're back up again. I just think that now, since they got their footing, they know that they can pull it. They pulled this off. I think that now the show is going to go way out there, and I think that's good for Halo because I've been saying this for years. What do you mean, Halo butt cheeks, bro? Bro, listen. Come on now. It's a TV show. It's entertainment. I go into any this is my thing. I go into every piece of entertainment with no expectations until I get to play it. And maybe that's why I'm more, if you want to say, liberal about things than others. Because I'm not coming in here, even if I read the comics or the book or watched a previous movie and then they did a remake of it or something like that. I always come in with an open mind of where this director is going, how they're doing it, what's the position, what is the position of it. And so when I looked at I'm looking at it, my wife doesn't know too much about anything about hell. She knows I play the hell out of it, but that's about it. She don't know nothing about the story, but she was very invested into the show. Like she even would get me up and say, hey, are we going? Didn't Halo come out today? I'm like, oh, let's go then. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that's for. It's to expand the audience. I've even seen people, and if you haven't seen the Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange movie, there's people out there that actually dog that movie out. I don't know. See, I think that it's just like people like to get on social media and they want to get a like for something or want to get some kind of attraction for something. But nah, Jack. If it's entertaining, it's entertaining, and it's all about that individual and what they think. If you think because you see Master Chief ass instead of the Covenant chick's ass or oh girl that I got a little semi low key crush on, I can't even think of her name right now. The other Spartan. Yeah, like come on now, stop it. You didn't see that? You didn't see the cakes when she was over there pulling that warthog boy. Anyway, stop it. So if you're worried about just that, it's ridiculous. So and it's just like for me, okay, so I have never watched any of those WB shows. They look so corny to me, but people will swear up and down that they're the hottest thing since sliced bread. Like they love the Flash, they love Arrow, they love Supergirl, they love this. I ain't watched now one of them, don't care to. They don't interest me the slightest. Now the Netflix shows, they were good. I just felt like it didn't seem like if you go if it's cool, it's cool. I'm not gonna knock it though. Like that, I just ain't gonna watch it. You're not gonna see me post anything or make a video saying, "Well, that's trash because K Mega said so." It doesn't matter because if you like it, then as my boy Still Rain would say, if you like it, I love it. That's just me. That's just me. And when I go and I look at stuff, I go in with an open mind. If I'm entertained, that's all that matters at the end of the day. I got my money's worth. And so I thought that the Halos TV show was worth the money, but that's worth watching and keeping Paramount actually because we got a lot of Star Trek stuff. Um, but back to the point. So looked like Kiki Wolfkill was out there doing the work for that show. Because if you watch the end of the credits, she was giving everybody, props for, going out here, the hard work and everything like that. So she separated doing her thing. All right. Bonnie Ross, she's overall ahead of everything 343, right? Well, she's got all these other things and entities as well that's a part of Halo. And so that's why she has underlings under her to make sure that this stuff goes out. But the one thing that trips me out is that people don't talk about Frank O'Connor. They don't. Or at least I haven't seen it. And to me, that's where the whole situation is like, well, if you're gonna go after Bonnie, if you're gonna go after Kiki, then you gotta go after Frank too, right? Because upper management, if people are saying that the problems with 343 is the upper management, then he's included with that. And I think he has more hands-on now, and also with Staten, that's a part of it now. They're the ones that's full-fledged in charge. So people need to be throwing those names out as well, if they feel that way. Now, me personally, there's no question that Halo Infinite is in not a dead on arrival stage because there's people still playing. If you look on Xbox, it's in the top 5. People are still playing it. I will occasionally jump back in and play it. I'm not in a hurry like I was the first season because we got 6 months of this second season. So I'll jump into it. I'm like level 40, level 45 right now. I'll finish it for sure. But the interest that I have now compared to what I had in December is totally different, or even early January. So, and it actually made me boot out Battlefield 1 because of Battlefield other situation. And I was like, man, I'm only going to be playing Battlefield and Halo. So Call of Duty is out of there this year. There's just no way I'm going to play Vanguard. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, I'm done with the World War II stuff. We got to get to modern or futuristic, do something. But I'm done with that era. We've been doing that for damn near a whole generation. It's time to move on. So Vanguard was out of the picture. So now what you got coming up, which is insane because when I was visioning what Halo was going to be projected to be doing at this time, like we would already have at least the co-op, and we would have more maps, things of that nature already dropping. What up, Don? It's more of a thing to me where I'm looking at this and I'm saying, hold on, hold on, hold up. What's going on here? Why are we still in this situation? And look, listen, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read off a little something for you. So, and see what you guys' opinion are. And people, please let me know in the chat. Right? Okay. So, what do you think, in hindsight? What's the problem with 343 at this point with Halo Infinite? Do you think it's because of the cross-gen support? Because we have seen people that say that they don't like. I mean, they wish that they seen better in graphics. I think that the graphic design, it's not my favorite. No, I love the Halo 5, Halo 4 design leaps and bounds better. But this design, the design for this is good because it brings that nostalgia. Plus, it also gives an opening for more futuristic, more enhanced looks in the future. That's what I'm begging for, to go closer to those Halo 4, Halo 5 armor sets. But do you think it's cross-gen support? Do you think it's because of the lack of programmer, artists, and the creative talent? You know what I'm saying? Because there is also that situation there that they are short-handed. And as you read this article or as you read this headline or whatever, they explain that they had to take the people that works on the desync, which Don talks about the desync every time we talk about Halo, which it's truly there. There's no doubt about it. And there's been times that I complain about the melee because that's my setup. That's always been my setup. I hate that they nerfed it because I get you with a 2-3 piece, weapon go out, boom, I hit you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Or I'll hit you first and boom, boom, and then I got the setup of either with the BR or with whatever weapon that I had, and it really gets down if I got the shotgun. So if I got the shotty body, I boom, boom, pop, pop, and that's it. Like, you know, but then they took it, they nerfed it, which that's another factor that I also feel that is the problem, is that they always cater, and this is with all types of games, where they cater too much with the Evo community or with these big money events. Like, I get it. I understand it. So why don't you just make 1 or 2 modes for those players only? Because we understand that they got to practice, they got to work as a team, put it together. So just have those modes. And then if there's people that get high ranked enough to join those groups, then have those groups only exclusive for them, because you don't want a whole bunch of like just randoms or casuals to just come in here and we all play together, and then they jump and they meet this team and they get wrecked over and over again, because that's what's going to take. And that's what I told you guys about when I talked about the fighter, when I made the videos about the fighters. Like, you got to have it to where it's separate from people. And I understand that you'll still get waxed one way or another. That's just the way of life and just the way of gaming. But in order to nerf certain things, they listen to the you know what I'm saying, though, the Evos, the Evo crowd, which that's the fighting thing. But for these other big event shows and things like that, for the higher up gamers, they need to just separate them. Separate them, give them their modes. If the gamers who play Halo enough get good enough, then they could play against them. And I think that that would make for a fantastic competition. And for the casuals and for the people that are above average and the people that are good, they can all play and just do what they do. That's my opinion on that. I don't know. I'll read what you guys said about that in the chat. But the talent aspect of it is that we've been hearing. I don't know why they don't just buy, why don't you just hire it? Like listen, it's the number one franchise for Xbox. And they have spent $250 million or more for the new slip space engine and all of that. Totally understand. But for your number one franchise, unlimited dollars. Just whatever they need, let them get it. Hire these programmers and keep them. All this rotational stuff, you know what I'm saying? I feel that is a big part of this, and I think this not only just hurt 343, this hurts a lot of these studios. Because there's people that come in and out. Because if you have a team, the synergy, as you will, as what some people say, then you get a more confident, proper product. And I'm not saying that this product is not good, but it's not what we have expected from. It's not what we expected. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, and I got to keep it real. So anyway, what else? Do you think it was because of the pandemic? Because I know that there'll be some people that tell me all the pandemic, but look, man, there's been so many delays. Games come out just awfully broken or messed up or not fully or not fully realized, and then they patch them later. Because I mean, when these individuals work from home, when they're used to working together, they can network better off. I mean, listen, I know that I'm going to get pushback from a certain people about that, but I feel that the whole industry went through it, and so I feel that that's a problem as well. And I mean, if you feel like it's all of these things, then then think so. And also, you got to put management. It's just that the management is not on point anymore. You know, is it just not working? Is it just that maybe they're too far behind or they're too over their head or whatever the case may be, whatever you may think it is? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in that chat. Let me know. But yeah, no, and you're right, Poe. For Halo 5 looks great. Like, I mean, I had a couple of PlayStation dudes hit me up and say, man, you know, that Halo, I know you cap for Halo 5 and all that. And you know what I'm saying? But I played it. That story's not bad. That story is pretty damn good. That game looks really, really good. You know, so it is what it is. Like I said, other people's level of entertainment, it is what it is. I was thoroughly entertained by the game. I knew that the story fell flat in some cases, but I feel it was more the advertising for Halo 5 that put it in that position where people just jumped on it than anything else. But it also was in an era where anything Xbox One did, Xbox One was going to get the slander, because I posted a couple of clips of Rise Son of Rome, a game that had a 60 or 62 rating, and people were just coming like, man, what game is this? Or, oh my God, I got tens of thousands of views on that on that, and hundreds, I think 1,000 likes or whatever. It was ridiculous. And we're talking about a 13-year-old guy. Man, that game looks great. I've never seen this part before, because again, people jump on the bandwagon and they say they play it, but you know how that is. So regardless, whatever. But do I feel that 343 should stop making Halo? No, I do not. There are still people within Bungie that works at Halo. Yes, they have lost a lot of people that, which now I think when we come and look at this situation, the gentleman that was working on Halo 5, that was the lead director, he left. I don't, and people were like, good riddance, yes, and all this and that. I don't know if it was such a good thing. I really don't. Because, I mean, he worked on Halo 4, right? Halo 4's story was absolutely amazing. Oh my God, it was gripping. It almost teared me up. You know what I'm saying? Because the connection between Chief and Cortana was at its apex in 4. Like, it was like, yeah, you get it. You get, this man cares for her. Like, he really genuinely cared for her, you know. And I know that people like the old kick-ass He don't say too much, just one-liners, and then just keep it moving. But I love that fact that they humanized him in 4, and then in 5 they showed that how much he still cared. So he believed in Cortana when Linda and the rest of the blue team was like, bro, like what you doing? But you know what? We got your back. You know what I'm saying? We in this. You know what I'm saying? And then of course Team Osiris, which I love. You got to bring him back. But it's I want to read this. This trips me out, and before I read this, I'll just show this little clip right here. If people don't know about the melee situation, this is what it looked like, or the desync, the collision stuff, and it's happened to me all the time because like I said, I like to use them. Yeah, look, boom. He should have blasted him. He should have blasted him. And then of course, yeah, look at that. Like, I mean, it's pretty wild, man. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But let me read this because people are asking about the desync and the melee and other things in the game. It does that Call of Duty thing. You run around a corner and you're dead, and you're like, "Well, I'm around a corner. What's happening here?" So anyway, it says, however, Barry Hill then added that the issue may not be resolved immediately because the developers would usually be the developers that would usually, I did say that right, it just kind of came off wrong, would usually be responsible for addressing it are working on other tasks. I don't know if Twitter, Reddit is the best place to go into all details about what there's been a lack of UCN improvement. There's a lot of factors, so I'll keep it brief. Barry Hill said. He said the TLDR of it is that the devs that would work on these fixes has been allocated to other Infinite work. Their work has had some knock-on benefits to our UCN, which I don't even know. Don, you're gonna have to explain what that stuff is. I don't know what that is. Or people in the chat, let me know what the UCN and the TLDR stuff. I don't even know what that stuff is. But the solution, he says, especially around movers, players, vehicles, etc., on objects, devices, elevators, pistols, bridges, etc., but not around the melee and around the wall shots, which that's what I was bringing up and talking about, which, getting shot around the corner. He said, these devs are coming home to the sandbox soon, hopefully. The community and competitive insight teams have done an amazing job of letting us know how frustrating these kinds of situations are. It is high on our priority of fixes. Look, nice sweet talk, but if it's high on your priorities of fixes, then this should have already been done. And now I'm not a developer, so I don't know how long that would take. And for whatever that they had to get off of this, of that particular sandbox, as he said, then obviously that I don't know. And it sounds like they're shorthanded overall. That's what it sounds like. And then when you come to that aspect of it, then he said, I was like, what is it? So I was over here like, like, Briggs, why you ain't barking? That sounded crazy as hell, whatever that was. It probably was a creature outside or something. Didn't know what the hell that was. But anyway, you about to see me go ahead and grab some things to save my life. I didn't know what that was. But they sound like they need more people. And that's what it sounds like overall. I mean, if you got to take people from this point to that point, obviously you're short. You're shorthanded. And we know that a lot of people, and I've heard this from more than just one or two developers, from people we've also had on GRG before and things like that. That look, they it's just a part of the business when developers leave. I know some people use it as fanboy propaganda to throw out, oh, this developer left, but they usually just kind of leave and go and things like that. But for the most part, listen, there should be nobody that wants to leave 343 Industries after one game, in my opinion. Just like there shouldn't be anybody that want. Now there will be people, but I'm just saying overall there shouldn't be a mad exodus of, let's say, okay, there's what I don't know, maybe close to 1,000 people at 343. I forgot what the number was, and you lose 400 of them, 300 of them, 200. It's a lot. You lose 50 or 60. Yeah, understandable. But if you lose 200 to 300 people or something like that, which I know that it was a big number of people that they lost. I don't quote me on the 200 to 300, but I just know that they lost a lot of people. Um, then obviously something something's not flowing right in order to keep, you know, keep things harmonizing properly. So if you want to say it's management, um, you know what I'm saying? And so what you say, Poe, he said, I don't think they left for one game. I think some are leeching when they take for key management. Well, you know, look, I think that. Well, okay, say that again. He said leeching. Okay, okay. So, you know, and that they could be leaving for other, yeah, for I mean, of course people leave to get a better job somewhere else. Other people get the burnout. Like if they've been there and they worked on Halo 3, Halo 4, and then they worked on Halo 5, and then they worked on this, then eventually, you know, you're looking at over 10, 15 years of work. So you're over here like, you know what, I've had my fill of it. That's different. But if you only just work on that one particular game and then you left, or you're there for just 6 months, 7 months, and I know that they hire all these intern type of or I know they're not taught, they're kind of journeyman type of employees, because we heard the same thing that was going on with Naughty Dog when that old situation was going on. I know that all these big studios they do it, but open a checkbook, Microsoft. I understand that we say that a lot, right? Like because we know that y'all have more money than God, but the whole point of the matter is that look, this is the number one franchise. Open the checkbook. Make sure that you make it an incentive to make sure that these people stay and don't leave, so you can keep that synergy, you know, to keep that going to where people are familiar with one another and not having to work with somebody else and somebody has to clean up somebody else's mess if they've messed up. I don't know. I don't know what you think about that. What's up, Rain? I just feel that way. Now, I mean, look, is Halo Infinite dead? No, it's not. The numbers is going. Everybody's showing the Steam numbers. Battlefield One is beating Steam. Now, this is the kicker, though. Battlefield is actually going in the right direction, slowly, but it's going in the right direction while Halo is still in a slump. But when Halo get everything, I guarantee you, when Forge come, all that Battlefield One showing where people trying to cap for Battlefield One, all of a sudden that shit is out of there. You know, so we know that. When Forge drop, that's going to be a big help. But hearing that they're relying on Forge to kind of pass the time until they can get everything put together that just don't sound right. It just doesn't. And you're talking, and this is a 343 supporter. So I'm not here to say that, you know, um, it is what it is, man. So I just wanted to touch on that. I think that that issue it's got to get solved, but I don't think it's going to get solved anytime soon. I think they're going to start scrapping some things. Hearing the rumors about that they're going to do they're going to kind of bring Halo in 2025, and when you first read where the stuff came from, it said it was DLC. There's no DLC that ever came that late. Well, I guess that's not true, because I believe that there was some late DLC that came from what is that game called? I can't think of that. It's a little indie game, so that could be understandable because that's a small team working on a game, and a lot of Xbox gamers got pissed off because that DLC is only going to PlayStation, Switch, and PC, and it's not coming to Xbox. And I bought that game. That's a good game. It's tough. It's really tough, but I can't think of the name of the game right now. Maybe somebody in the chat will know what it is. But um, for the multiplayer aspect, I don't see the multiplayer getting fully right into again kicking in gear until sometime maybe mid to late next year. I think that they're going to have their woes all this year, and then part of the first half of next year, and then I think by the end of next year, that's when I think that it's going to start catching its stride. But if the single player aspect of it don't come until 2025, then it don't need to be called Halo Infinite. This need to be called I I don't know, because I guess maybe Halo Infinite 2, because that's pretty much sound like a standalone game. That ain't going to be no DLC. Yeah, Terminus. Thank you for coming on in here. He's saying 343 relying on the community to make stuff in Forge is not optimal at all, but that's less of an issue than we get a bunch of new maps, modes that the community makes, cause people just want content. Yeah, right. The maps would just do a hell of a lot better, and I understand, right? Like Sir X-Man was making a point, like I've said this before too, like, man, why don't you throw some older maps in? I mean, you have tons of older maps. It would good, but his aspect, just throw them in there. But that ain't gonna work either, because if you bring in, let's say, Blood Gulch, okay, with the skills and abilities that you have now, that would be so a person would learn how to break that, and those people would devastate the way that map was constructed for the older style. If you have that with all these people jumping around and swinging off of the damn man, it would be crazy chaos. But it would definitely, for people who cares about their KDs, who people really care about, the traditional part of the cat and mouse aspect of it, then yeah, they would have to do some different things with Blood Gulch in order for it to work for Halo Infinite. So those things take time. But that's the problem. This game has been in development for 6 years before we even seen this game hit stores. So this should have been talked about years ago. This should have been a strategy years ago. That's where I got the problem with. Why was this not talked about beforehand? Why was it that, well, and I understand that they're new to this, and there was going to be issues with going with Halo as a live service multiplayer wise. But the first thing that anybody knows when you're doing live service is that the content's got to be there. It seemed like their first priority was, okay, how much can we charge these people, and how much money can we make out of this? And of course, the suits compared to the devs, I'm sure that there was a lot of bickering on how to do that, and what to do and what not to do. And because when you played the beta version, the way that you leveled up within the game was perfect. It was fine. Matter of fact, I think that's what they reverted back to, because you build up. Like it feels the same way. Now, I've also bought the season passes, so you build up even faster. But the thing to me overall is, like, sometimes that I get it. Like, it's about money. I know that some people think that it's all about just, it's about the community first. No, it's about money first, because that's what gets these people to get up here and do their jobs. They want to get paid just like you want to get paid at your job. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's about that bread. But you have to listen to the community to some degree, but if you want to try to do something different, you can't always listen to everybody in the community if you want to try to do something different. I always go to God of War. I always go to that. Nobody didn't ask God of War to change it to look like I said, look Rise-ish, change to that third party behind the back. Nobody asked for that. And I was even skeptical of it. Like, what the hell are you doing? But it worked. God of War is great. So the Halo has kind of went different what they did with Halo 5. But see, you can't listen you can't just listen to the same people over and over again, because if they always abandon you. Those Halo stands that likes Bungie Halo, that wants Bungie to take over Halo, they already started talking about how they abandoned Halo Infinite. Just make the game that you want to make. Don't have, listen to the community to a certain degree, but when it comes to your creative freedom, people don't want top brass telling the creators what to make and how to make it, and microtransaction actions, this and this and that and this and this. But you also can't have the community to tell you how to make a game as well, especially when they don't know how to make a game. They got ideas of what they would like. And you know how social media is. The first thing that doesn't go right with them, they get shot by somebody that was running. Oh, well, see, this is why I'm not going to play the game, because you brought the run. Yeah, I want a power walk. This is how some people are, man. It's really ridiculous, but have your creative freedom to bring out stuff that's new, different, fresh, to bring in new audience. And then if the people that out there that don't appreciate the work and the hard labor that you put behind your game, trust me, the newcomers that will like your game will be there, and you will have new fans on top of that. And just like how everything always happens, The old guard will eventually come back and play for a while. They may hide and complain and bitch and say on social media that they don't want that, they don't like the game, they're not gonna play it, they're just gonna play Master Chief Collection only. Fine. But guarantee that they're gonna sneak over there if there's a good event that everybody's talking about because it's fun, it's great, they'll hop on Infinite. They will. So that part is that's what it is. But okay, so Anime, you saying that holding devs accountable is key. There's a difference of holding devs accountable and then just being assholes. Like, I mean, come on, man. There's no reason for people to jump on. Like I said, like I had my when I seen God of War the first time, I'm like, what is this? What? Come on. This don't look like the God of War I knew that I love. What is this? Overly cinematic, and he's a father, and they over here talking about he's soft. What? You know what I'm saying? I was completely like, nah, bro, you got me, nah. And so, but because of their creative freedom and they let it go, look, I didn't jump in there in the feeds and some. I may have said a few things in a couple of videos or podcasts of I'm still on the fence, but I'm not. But if people are hyped for it, I'm happy for them. I'm just not there yet. Or maybe I might not ever be there. It might be beyond me, but I'm not going to ever hate on anybody else enjoying the game, right? But you got people that don't think that way. They feel because if they don't like it, then you shouldn't like it either. And that to me is bonkers. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. And you talking about holding devs accountable, then yeah, tell them how you feel, but you don't gotta call them out their name. You ain't gotta treat them like they're second class citizens, because in all actuality, most of those people make more money than we do. They'll go ahead and they'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna block your ass and I'm gonna hop up in this Tesla and I'm gonna go back into my like 2,000 square foot home. You know, like, come on, bro. Don't listen. It's a situation here where people, we are emotional creatures. There's no doubt about it. But there's no reason to be going to 343 so negatively. Or even, I mean, as much as I'm pissed off at Battlefield, at DICE about Battlefield 2042, I'm still going to sit there and talk to those people cordial. I'm still going to tell them what I'm disappointed about. You know, but I'm not going to be calling them out their name or berating them or saying that everybody should get fired. Now, there should be some things that needs to be done. There's no doubt with 343 and what's going on with EA, or I should say with DICE. But there's definitely some things but people got to know how to talk to people because they would want to be talked to in a respectful way as well. Like, you just can't be throwing out emotions and being pissed off just because you're behind a keyboard, just say whatever the hell you want to and think you're going to get a proper response of like, oh, I'm sorry. We're listening to you, because you'll either get that generic response or you get blocked now. The devs ain't gonna hear that. And then they will do something that you probably don't like, and then it is what it is. So I don't know, man. But hold devs accountable. I think me making this discussion is holding 343 responsible. You have to. There's going to be some people that's going to listen to this. This is going to float around a little bit, but it's, what I'm saying? And so maybe with anything that I'm saying, it will probably translate to help. I don't know. But regardless, I feel that there is some issues there. Now, do people need to be fired? That part, I'm not going to go that far with it, but I will say that there's things that need to be sewn up for sure, because this ain't it. This ain't it. As a true fan of Halo, what I'm saying, regardless of what I'm saying, where direction that they go with the series or with the franchise, or how the game looks or whatever like that, I'm still going to support Halo because I love everything about Halo. I just want them personally to expand the universe. That's all I've said. I want to expand the universe, have your freedom to do that. If I may not like the let's say the next game is called Halo Infinite 2 or some crazy shit like that or whatever, and then they bring a side Halo game that's Team Taurus or Team Osiris or Team somebody, and I like that one, but I'm still going to be supporting it. and I'm still going to play Infinite so I can know more about where their direction of the story is going to go. That's just me as a gamer or a person that even looks into entertainment. You know what I'm saying? If something that I enjoy, I'm going to invest into it, and I want because I want to know what the story is going to be. But I'm not going to go crazy until say this and that's got to happen. But all right, enough of that. All right, so I told you about Frank O'Connor, right? So here we go. This female right here, her name is Haley. There's a lot of stuff here that oh, you said Terman should say you glad that I'm doing the stream. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows that you care. Right. Like I care. Like I'm not gonna sit here. Listen, when Halo does great, I'm gonna show it. If Halo is doing bad, I'm gonna talk about it. Like I'm a realist. Like this is not the best time for Halo Infinite. And the game is good, but the game is flawed in a lot of ways. It's nowhere near as bad as what the Master Chief Collection was, but 343 didn't even make Master Chief Collection. So, excuse me, but they didn't give up on it. And I know that they're not going to give up on Halo Infinite multiplayer. So, therefore, it's going to come out, but I'm just letting people know this is going to be a lot longer. And you'll probably be just like me. And there's plenty of other games that we'll be able to play. And that's not our fault because of the mismanagement or the slow playing on their end. That's on them. Because I would rather be playing Halo if Halo was what I envisioned, if they had the maps, if they had the content, if they had better accessories for the Spartans. You know what I'm saying? I would still be playing it. Like, you know, it's no big deal. But now I'm picking and choosing when I play Halo. So, but I still love the franchise. I'll always will. But this lady right here, her name is Haley. She goes all in on Frank O'Connor. Now, like, I don't know if this stuff is all true or isn't. I don't know what kind of agenda that she might have. I mean, I know that if you read some of the stuff, she wants to bring back, I think she says it right up here. Like she says, I love Halo, Sonic, fighting to bring back Halo's golden days. Now, again, young female, she looked like she's cute. Only 404 followers. It seems like to me that's a sock account. But regardless, it is whatever it is. None of my business. But this information that she threw out. Yeah, you're right. There's too many Halo gatekeepers out there. Rain. Listen. The Juneteenth thing pissed me off. Because, and that right there, why it pissed me off so much is because, look, people like, yeah, it could have been a mistake. I mean, the Bungie thing, they named it Gorilla and after this monkey and that's their engine or whatever. So it still doesn't make it right. And when people show the staff of 343, and it's predominantly white, and that's when I made the point of just saying, look, you're going to have a person that some people of color there. You got to sprinkle a little bit of color in there. So when things like this popping up, somebody can say, yo, bro, that may be funny within y'all's inside jokes, but if you let that hit public, that's y'all's ass. And what do you want to have? You already got bad press already because Halo Infinite isn't doing than what a lot of people expected it to do. We're behind. You drop this is only going to add more fuel to the fire. They had no sprinkle of anybody of color. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you had if you had a Native American person, a Latino person, anybody, they would probably look at that like, yeah, nah, I don't think so. Maybe not. And listen, that staff looks young. So there's people that probably don't know, and I know that there's people that there's a lot of people that didn't know from the East Coast and West Coast about Juneteenth. That's a South thing. I mean, that's just right down the street from me. Me from Oklahoma, that was in Texas, and the whole background. And if you want to check out this understanding of what Juneteenth is, and we grew up on Juneteenth, how serious that was for everybody. Like the whole block would celebrate Juneteenth. Now, as kids, we just like, oh, okay, we party, we get to have fun, and hang out with neighbors and everything else. But it means something to us. Um, so to say that you're supporting Juneteenth, but then have a gorilla as look, bro, that pissed me off. And so, like with the stuff that this woman has posted, she's gone over and said that um, he said all different types of he has all he like he's a big jokester when he's on gaff and on other places or whatever. And anyway, so she broke this whole all down. It's nutty. It's a lot of stuff. Just go look at her page if you want to go read all that stuff. Um, she she also pointed out and she tagged like Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and all those other people out there about his content, what he said. Um, listen, hold on, let me change this. I need to do that right fast. Okay, all right, hold on. Okay, so the the conversations and the jokes, they were over the line. The man has apologized for this race, what I'm saying, for people who would look at his stuff as being racist. The one thing that I looked at was reading when he was talking about the election, where it was basically talking about a woman named Nina. I can't remember her last name, but she was the spokeswoman or a person that worked for under Bernie Sanders, campaign. And at that time, if you remember, I don't know if how many people follow politics like that, but Bernie Sanders was in the lead. You had Buttigieg, you had Biden, I think it was like fourth or fifth. You had Kamala Harris that was up there, and a couple, and I think a couple of others. And Biden was way down low. There's a lot of supporters of Bernie and things like that, but he came out and was saying that Nita was too boisterous. She came off aggressive. And that made people say, like, what are you trying to say? A black woman is being too aggressive. And so he backed off and he said, look, I wasn't trying to do that. You're just saying that I think it would be better for the campaign if they would just let her manage instead of her talk on camera. And she's a fiery woman. There's no doubt about it. I mean, she talks her shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I respect her for respect what she's doing. She is running right now. I don't know if it's for Louisiana or she's running somewhere. I can't remember where she's running at right now. But um, the thing for me though is this: is that you get kind of tired as a person of color that always got to hear about, especially when you're raised by a lot of black women. You know what I'm saying? That's how we know them as strong. They're boisterous. There's a lot of times, what I'm saying, I didn't have a dad at home. You know what I'm saying? I only had my grandfather. So those were my aunties, my cousin, my mother, my grandmother. Those were the voices that, especially my mom, since, single home, she was the voice of mom and dad. And so she would be boisterous. She would be aggressive. She would be when the time when I'll be messing up and things like that. And so when you hear your aunties and things like that talking, and then it seems like they come out when they say certain things about black women when they talk like when they talk aggressive, that like they don't have a soft side or that they need to be more submissive. That no. I mean, because there's spicy white women and Latino women and Asian women. I mean, shit. And then there's some women out there, and there are some black women out there that aren't as boisterous and up in your face like that. So it's more of a woman thing than it is a woman of color. And so I did take offense to that statement to the point of because that's that like that those tropes that you come and you say, oh well, that hair that black gentleman has, that just doesn't make him look professional. He can be the smartest dude in the room. What does his hair has to do with him not looking smart, not being educated? You see what I'm saying? So that's those tropes that kind of still lingers, even when people aren't racist, but they're still ignorant and don't understand. Like, look, it's okay for people to look different, Like, I mean, when I first see a person with black lipstick and nose rings and piercings and shit, yeah, I look like yo. And then when they talk, you like, well, this person's normal as hell. But I mean, because I'm older, I'm looking like this motherfucker look crazy as hell. What's what? I don't know. Do I need to grab something? You know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. So I get it, but it's just not, you can't say, well, because I don't like the way she speaks that she needs to go in the back to help Bernie's campaign. Nah, that's not how it is. And Bernie picked that woman, picked Nina to do that, to do the job and be the spokesperson on all these television shows, and to show that, look, it's all right to have a strong black woman to speak on behalf of Bernie Sanders. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that at all. And right when Kamala Harris left, I told my wife and I told my friends, I said, watch, Kamala's going to be the next. He's going to pick her to be vice president. I said, because she challenged him. She came out there and she lit his ass up in that debate. And so that's the situation right there. But, I'm going too deep into the politics because I love talking about politics. But regardless, the thing for me is this. He has a lot of jokes. He's said a lot of things. And the more and more that I read those statements, the more and more I kind of look at this situation with the bongo or whatever that damn monkey's name was, that got thrown out there for Juneteenth. I could look at that as that's a joke. And that person should be in trouble for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like that person should be, you know what I'm saying? You said shout out to K Mega Chair for holding them up. My chair, wait, what's the problem here? What's the problem? You think what's wrong with my chair? So it's one of those things for me, like I I don't think it was a mistake. I really don't. I don't think the Juneteenth thing was a mistake. I think it was a low-key joke, came out there, and it was what it was. And so there should be people that get punished for it. Now, I'm not all about people losing their jobs, but if you get demoted, then you get demoted. If you lose some status, or get reprimanded really hard, then that's cool. But from what this woman's stuff is saying, he's been doing this for a long time, and like I said, I ain't gonna smear the man's name because I don't know. There's some stuff in there that's offensive. There's some things for me that some other people would look and see that's highly offensive, and other things for me, like I'm like, come on now, not everything has got to be negative. You see what I'm saying? Like, I see Wilmy. He always throw all the craziest type of memes out there, and some people will come after him and say, "Well, that's offensive." Nah, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Just ignore it if that's the case, right? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? There's certain levels to this. There's certain things that I might hear from a joke or something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I got you. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of funny. But then the thing with the Nina situation, now I did take offense to that. Now, with that warrants for the man to be fired, from my opinion? No. But if he got more and more and more history of doing these things, then obviously he's an habitual line stepper. And if you're an habitual line stepper, your ass is going to have to pay the price. You know what I'm saying? You can't just keep constantly crossing the line and then expecting people to just keep hearing your apologies because you messed up in public. Obviously, maybe some of these things you think, and that's unfortunate if that's the case. If you know what I'm saying, not to say that the man ain't making jokes and he's not a good person or whatever, but it is a problem. And like I said, I told you I was gonna talk about it because it needs to be talked about. A lot of the Xbox community out there, the bigger channels and shit, they won't talk about it, or they'll do a little snippet about it, but they ain't gonna really go deep into it. But you know me, I'm gonna do it because it's not like I'm not gonna like trying to smear this man's name or another person's name. I just want these to be addressed, and if these things get looked at and get fixed internally like they should, then there should be no problem whatsoever at all. Yes, sir. I am going to be at E3 next year. Yes, I'm going to E3 next year. What'd you say, Fahim? You said he would probably break the camera and find out and find out a day later. Uh oh shit. I don't even pay attention to bro's content, man. I don't even understand what's going on here. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Right? I don't get it. Whatever. So I'm just you know what I'm saying, because if I'm rocking back and forth in my chair, whatever, but it's a low chair. My other chair right there, I'm over here gotta fix something on it, but and I'm usually higher, but this chair is fine. Anyway. Um but my last point on this, listen, it's a crazy situation, man. I think that it should be looked at, and then if they don't find anything, no true evidence of anything, even though this woman has posted all this stuff here, but something's got to get done. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, you can't, you know what I'm saying, it needs to shut down his accounts. Like, I mean, we've seen employees from Microsoft that came out and was talking about just cuss somebody out, and then they got demoted and they got sent off somewhere, and then they had to get off of Twitter completely. So if that's the case, then this man probably have to get off of social media completely and focus on making Halo the best that it can be, instead of over here bullshitting around talking about this. So I don't know. So yeah, it is. What's up, Verge? But yeah, man, I just wanted to go ahead on this talk about it. I don't know how long I went on it. Oh shit, it was an hour. Lord have mercy. Uh, you said you just might slide through there. It'd be great. It'd be great. It'd be great. All right. So I just wanted to talk about it. I will, every time that I come in, I do these things. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be about 10, 15 minutes. Nah, I knew better. I knew better because there was a lot that I wanted to say, a lot I wanted to discuss. I think that this stuff needs to be resolved on both aspects of it. This man stuff, and definitely more importantly, this stuff here, because they got to get this fixed, man. They got to get it fixed. I really want Halo to be the best that it can be, man. And um, the game feels great when it's playing right, but we need that content. We need that content. There's no doubt. So everybody has a good one. Really do appreciate it. I will see you guys with another video coming up here. Hopefully tomorrow, I'll finally get to talk about the whole what I think about the whole Madden situation, and 2K coming back. So we'll discuss about that too. But I'll talk to you guys later. Really do appreciate it. Like I said, if you have subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I'm 30 away from 4,000. We moving. It's been slow drip, but hey, it's better to keep going up and then to go down. So I really do appreciate that. And yes, I'm almost up to 7,000 on Twitch. I'm sorry, on Twitch. I'm sorry, on Twitter. And you want to go support there at KMega4, and then on Twitch, I'm about 49 away from 400. So you want to come and support me on Twitch when we do Fight Night Sundays, you catch out GRG and and occasional a stream here or two, then by all means come and check it out. But hope you guys have a good one. I will see you guys later. Peace.